This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're here at the weigh-in, delighted to be joined by the man, the legend, I guess, in retirement. I guess probably everybody's still torching the card, but it's been obviously a good while since you boxed here. I think it was the last world title fight was actually here. Are you surprised it's taken nearly 5 years for another world title fight to be in Belfast?
Yeah, I am surprised, if I'm being honest. It's a city, it's always produced good fighters, so I'm surprised, but I always thought that Mick was probably going to be the next man to come in behind me and kind of fill my boots and be the forefront of boxing in Belfast anyway. And it's important to have a big night. It's a city that craves boxing. So it's good. It's good for the city. It's good to have. We hope that Mick can win. It's a tough fight. Hoping he can win. But it's good for the guys in the undercard as well to get a bit of exposure.
I guess obviously for Irish boxing in general, obviously this is a pick-me-up moment. Obviously Katie came up short last week, and obviously Dublin and her homecoming. Do you think this will add a bit of extra pressure to Michael this week to know that we need a big moment to get it back, or is he just completely focused probably at this stage?
I think there probably is more pressure on him, and it's really a chance that he's lost a world title already. He's had a couple of wins since that. He's not getting any younger. It may almost be seen as kind of last chance saloon for Mick to get another shot, because although this is a voluntary, he's not typically the type of fighter you pick to fight for a voluntary. You fight Mick if you have to fight him, because he's very awkward and he can give anybody a hard night's work. So there is pressure on him, but look, he can deal with the pressure. There's been pressure on him as an amateur. He's been world champion. There's been pressure on him. His debut was in Madison Square Gardens with Conor McGregor, walking him to the ring. There's always been pressure on him, so it's nothing new to him.
Obviously with the ABF, I guess it's probably the one that if you, because obviously Michael's come up from super bantam, so he probably wouldn't be regarded as the biggest featherweight. That obviously check weight's going to probably help as well. I guess being at home, you can probably add an extra 10% to your game as well. As you well know, the SSE, there's no atmosphere like it in the SSE when you make that ring walk. He looks completely focused and clued in this week as well.
I think he is focused, but it's important that he doesn't get too carried away with the atmosphere. And I spoke to him there half an hour ago, and he looked relaxed, and he was relaxed. And I think that's really important that he is, because you can get carried away and listen to the crowd and get kind of too much invested in that, and then maybe fight a fight that you're not that you shouldn't be fighting, and you become overly aggressive. And I think it's important that he stays calm, switched on, wins rounds, but doesn't have to win them by a mile, doesn't have to get too greedy, just does enough to win the rounds. And I'm sure that he can do it tomorrow night.
Obviously Anto Kukachi, obviously fighting for the first time at home in 8 years. The last time you fought Avalos in your first defence. I'm sort of glad that he sort of went to him, and obviously the face-off. We need a big performance at Anto tomorrow night if he's going to get these big fights. Yeah,
a massive performance, and I spoke to Anto. It's not just about him winning; he has to do it well and in spectacular fashion. And people like to see exciting fighters, so Anto needs a bit of momentum. That's all he needs, and he needs a bit of luck as well. And if he gets that, Anto can beat the world. I genuinely believe that. He's a quality fighter. His career has been kind of stop-start and issues with managers and trainers and different things. But if Anto gets momentum, and that's why it's important for Mick to win, so these other guys can keep getting on these big cards. But Anto needs to win, and he needs to win well tomorrow night, and I think he will.
Just obviously want to finally get your thoughts, and obviously Maurizio Lara obviously missed some weight earlier on. Obviously, there's nearly a 4 pound weight difference. We sort of spoke about it earlier on. If you were in that sort of situation, would you want to fight? Obviously, a 4 pound difference. I guess it puts Lee Wood in a tricky situation as well. Because if he doesn't fight, is he going to get another world title opportunity?
Look, it's a really difficult situation that Lee Wood's in. I think as a fighter, you'll want to fight. These opportunities don't come around too often. I don't know. It's a hard one. He's kind of been put behind the black ball, because if he doesn't take the fight, then he'll probably not get the fight again. The Board of Control have tried to do the smart thing and say that Lara doesn't have to weigh or can't weigh any less than 128.5. But at the same time, then that means he can weigh in whatever he wants, and he's just weighed in 4 pounds above what Lee Wood's weighed, which makes it a bit more dangerous. I don't know. I think it's not about the fighter. The fighter will always want to fight, but sometimes for fighters' safety, you got to have a trainer or a manager or someone step in and take over and make decisions for you.
Finally, obviously, your thoughts, and obviously, main event, how do you see it going tomorrow night? Do you probably see it being a close affair? I'm going to go on record and say I think Mick could stop him early with the backhand, but I guess we just don't know sometimes when it comes to these wee 1%. How do you see it going?
Well, look, he could stop him early, but I think it's going to be a tight fight. I think that if Mick gets a bit of a lead and Lopez then has to start chasing it, then becomes an easier fight for Mick. But I think it's going to be close. But I think that Mick will have just done enough to get his hand raised.
Well, listen, thanks very much for your time. Enjoy commentating back at home tomorrow night, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thank you.